U.S. Open today, John Isner survives. 5-set duel with Frances Tiafoe. John Isner has only twice come back from losing the first two sets at a Grand Slam tournament. The first time was at the 2013 French Open, when he prevailed in 5 sets against his fellow American Ryan Harrison, then 21. On Monday, in the first round of the United States Open, Isner, 31, again found himself down 2-0 against a next-generation American. This time it was against the 18-year-old Frances Tiafoe, who served for the match in the 5th set before losing 3-6, 4-6, 7-6, 5, 6-2, 7-6, 3. Tiafoe, the son of immigrants from Sierra Leone, took up tennis because his father worked a maintenance job at a tennis center in College Park, MD. He developed into a top-ranked junior player and, at number 125 in the ATP rankings, was playing only his third main draw match at a Grand Slam tournament Monday. He was also seeking his first victory. Tiafoe broke Isner's formidable serve at love in Isner's opening service game, then broke him 2 more times to build a 2-set lead. Tiafoe had 4 break-point opportunities in the 3rd set, but failed to convert. Both players fed off the crowd at the new Grandstand Stadium, often encouraging cheers by raising their arms after big points. Chants of "Let's go, Frances" were frequent during changeovers, as fans sensed a changing of the guard moment, with the underdog teenager pushing the 20th-seeded Isner, the highest-seeded American. Tiafoe broke Isner for the 4th time at 3-4 in the 5th set to gain a chance to serve for the match. But Isner's experience advantage kicked in. He broke right back to get back on serve and dominated the tiebreaker to clinch the win. It was the 22nd 5-set match on tour for Isner. It was Tiafoe's first. The player shared an exhausted hug at the net, and afterward Isner said, "It was an absolute pleasure to play against Frances. He's a hell of a player and a class act." Continue reading the main story. Advertisement. Continue reading the main story. Experience also prevailed over youth in another All-American matchup, when number 26 seed Jack Sock, 23, edged 18-year-old Taylor Fritz, 7-6, 3, 7-5, 3-6, 1-6, 6-4. Rafael Nadal was the first professional player to hit a tennis ball at Arthur Ashe Stadium with its new retractable roof closed. It was during a practice session August 22, and he said he recorded it because it was an important thing in the history of this tournament. There was no need to play under the closed roof Monday, a sunny and hot day at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. For fans in Ashe Stadium, there was no roof in motion above and no drama on court below. Number 7 seed Roberta Vinci, a surprise finalist last year, defeated Annalena Fried-Sam, 6-2, 6-4, in 1 hour 9 minutes. Second-seeded Angela Kerber won the first 7 games against Polona Hercog in 33 minutes before Hercog retired because of an illness. Nadal, who is working his way back from a wrist injury that caused him to withdraw from the French Open and Wimbledon, dispatched Denis Istomin, 6-1, 6-4, 6-2, in 2:07 to close out the day session. Asked about his wrist in a post-match interview, Nadal said, "The most important thing is I am here in New York. That makes me feel happy." Read about how the roof was built here. Harsh words for chair umpire. The first American seed to lose at the Open was number 28 Coco Gauff, who fell to Naomi Osaka of Japan, 6-7, 4, 6-3, 6-4. Osaka, 18, is one of the rising stars of the women's game, having reached the 3rd round of the Australian Open and French Open this year before missing Wimbledon with a knee injury. Still, Gauff said she was kind of unknown to me. The fact that she's won matches at slams is a surprise to me, because I hadn't, relatively, heard about her, Gauff said. In addition to frustrations with her own passive play, Gauff expressed particular disdain for the chair umpire, Fergus Murphy, whose hand she declined to shake after the loss. "I thought he was terrible on both ends," Gauff said. "Not just for me, but for her. You're going to miss calls, of course it's going to happen. But the way he behaved, And being on his high horse, I thought was just kind of lame. It's not necessary, that's probably the best way you could say it. He was trying to scold me after I went for a bathroom break to change my clothes, because I didn't specifically tell him that I was changing clothes. I didn't think he deserved to have my respect for trying to be a parent to me, and to scold me. Osaka said that she tried not to be distracted as Vang's unhappiness with the umpire became clear and added that she tried to avoid such conflicts. It's never really that good, unless you're McEnroe or something, Osaka said. I don't know if that works for you. Ben Rothenberg. Monday's highlights. The roof is not the only new feature at this year's Open. Taylor Townsend and Caroline Wozniacki played the first match on the new 8,125-seat Grandstand Stadium, with Wozniacki winning 4-6, 6-3, 6-4, in 2 hours 13 minutes. In a surprise, the old grandstand, which abuts Louis Armstrong Stadium, will also be used for matches this year. The USTA had intended to use it solely as a practice court this year. But Court 10 was found to have court surface imperfections, so the grandstand will host matches for at least the first few days. Read a complete article on the grandstands here. Tsitsipas, who was a fan favorite at the 2014 Open after advancing to the second round at age 15, is competing in a Grand Slam main draw for the first time since then. And she is back winning matches in Flushing Meadows, defeating Viktorija Golubic of Switzerland, 6-2, 6-3. Read a complete article here. Most of the high seeds had an easy time Monday, though number 3 Garbine Muguruza was pushed to 3 sets by the qualifier Elise Mertens and did not feel well in the heat. The highest seed to lose so far, number 13 Richard Gasquet of France, to fell to Kyle Edmund of Britain, 6-2, 6-2, 6-3. Edmund, a 21-year-old ranked 84th, was playing his first main draw match at the Open. In the second round, Edmund will face the American Ernesto Escobedo, who is in his first Grand Slam tournament. Escobedo, 20, is ranked 201st and gained entry into the tournament by winning the US Open Wild Card Challenge, a series of 3 events this summer. The number 32 seed Monica Puig, the women's singles gold medalist from Puerto Rico, suffered a post-Olympic letdown, losing her first-round match to Zhang Sai, 6-4, 6-2. A lot of pressure, a lot of expectation, but I can always continue to learn, Puig said. Kevin Anderson, the number 23 seed from the South Africa, was a quarter-finalist at the 2015 Open after an upset of Andy Murray. Anderson, who opened with a 6-3, 7-5, 6-4 victory over Yoshihito Nishioka of Japan, is one of only 2 African men in the singles draw this year.